Salute, 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 everybody. Sorry for the delay and my apologies about the wardrobe malfunction. I promise this looked a whole lot better with a sweater on, but bro, it was too hot for that sweater. So there we go. There we are. Right. Salute to the chat. Um, Salute to everybody. Thank y'all for coming through, rocking with me on the short, man. I have a thing that I want to kind of run by you. I think it makes perfect sense in my mind. I probably should have been a little bit more prepared. I probably should have been a little bit more prepared, but I'm gonna see if I can get through and still have it be 14 minutes or less. I'm gonna see if I can still do that. Let me see. There's a certain thing I was looking for because I want to speak to a certain point just really quick. So I understand that the Knicks have a game tonight against the Utah Jazz, and I do understand that you guys are preparing for it, right? Salute Virtuoso, the son of the legend Kerry Cox is in the building. Danny Landis is in the building. Just Knicks, what's happening, y'all? What's happening? Danny, look, Danny, I got a Kango just for you, Danny. Got the Kango hat just for Danny. My man Danny Landis working 19 job. Danny is a good dude, man. Shout out to Danny Landis. Right. But and so I have a um thing that I want to talk to y'all about, right? So I'm gonna start with this right here. Right now, the New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers are tied for third place in the Eastern Conference. And right now, both teams are 2 games back of the Milwaukee Bucks. Right now. Right now, both teams are 2 games back. Right. And then that group of 3 are about 6 games or less behind the Boston Celtics. And while this seems like just trivial January talk, what I'm going to ask you as a New York Knicks fan is this. Has the New York Knicks championship timeline been sped up? Has the New York Knicks championship timeline, been sped up? Has it moved forward from maybe in 3 years to maybe if everything goes right this year? Right? And before we say, like, before we start with things that may not, before we think about all the things that will prevent us, let's talk about the things that will help us. Right? Before we do that, let's talk about things that help us, right? I want to talk about a few things that helps any championship team win an NBA title, any NBA team win a title, right? The first thing is health. Is your team healthy, right? And for the New York Knicks, even though Randall is out, and even though Mitchell Robinson is out, the core, for the most part, is intact health wise, and they'll be back, right? So Randall is out for a few weeks, but that may be our blessing in disguise. That Randall missing games in the middle of the season may be our blessing in disguise. And listen, I don't want Julius Randle to be hurt, but if I have to think about a silver lining to him being out, he gets to rest his body. He gets to rest his legs. So, hey, Juju, if you watching, man, I'm sorry you hurt. I'm not trying to capitalize on a moment, but hey, man, You get to put your legs up for a little bit, rest, even some mental rest, so you be fresh for the playoffs. Here's another thing. Championship teams have a bunch of clutch moments strung together, right? Championship teams have multiple clutch moments strung together on their way to becoming NBA champs. Do the Knicks have a guy that can help the team string together multiple clutch moments? And if we do, then we are also in that championship conversation. Do the Knicks have depth? Yes. Now, is it the depth that we desire? Maybe not. But in terms of NBA teams right now, look at the Boston Celtics. Outside of their starting five, what do they have? When I look at the Milwaukee Bucks outside of their starting five, what do they have? When I look at the Philadelphia 76ers outside of their starting five, what do they have? And then I look at the Knicks outside of their starting five. Depth is everywhere. Everywhere. If you can just imagine, just go with me, just stay with me for a moment. Don't judge what I'm saying. Just hear me out on it, and then you tell me about the depth. So imagine when the playoff starts, you have Brunson and DiVincenzo in your backcourt. Your forwards are OG Anunoby and Julius Randle, both healthy. Your center is Mitchell Robinson. Your backup center off the bench, healthy, is Isaiah Hartenstein. Your six-man candidate off the bench, Josh Hart. And then you have some combination of Deuce McBride, Precious Achiuwa, or Quentin Grimes. Do you? And Jericho Sims. How do you like your depth versus the aforementioned teams? I mentioned the depth on the bench. I'm not sure if it's going to be the same now. I'm not sure for sure if it's going to be the same then as it is right now. But as it stands, without a move, you're talking Deuce McBride, Quentin Grimes, Josh Hart, Precious Achiuwa, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Jericho Sims. I said 6 names and put up 5 fingers. What does that tell you? Depth. Depth. I'm not including names in the buyout market or trade candidates or any of that stuff. Right? What I'm saying, what I'm speaking to is the fact that right now, on paper, the Knicks are deep. But you don't win championships on paper, right? You win championships on the court. Right. So once we get guys back healthy and with the rust knocked off, would you prefer the Boston Celtics bench or the New York Knicks bench? One vital thing to a championship contender, how hungry is this team? How hungry is this franchise? How bad does the fan base want a championship? Is this fan base starved for a championship more than, say, Boston? Is this fan base starved for a championship more than Milwaukee? Is this fan base starved for a championship more than Philadelphia? How about Denver? How about Golden State? How about the Los Angeles Lakers? One thing you're gonna need is in a championship run is for a coach to make a bold move. Coaches that win championships tend to make a bold move and it pays off, right? Um, Moving David Lee to the bench so that Draymond Green can start. It's a bold move, right? Right? Things of that sort. Can the Knicks coach press the right buttons in the championship run? And I'm going to say to you, yes. Because every coach can't win a championship until they do it. And then we say they can. Mike Budenholzer, he wasn't a championship coach until he did it. Just something to think about. Do the Knicks have enough star power and star power in positions that are important? Does this Knicks team have enough star power in the backcourt? Does this Knicks team have enough star power in the front court? Does this Knicks team have a sixth man that can and should be a starter somewhere? You're going to need it. Star power is what wins championships. When your team is down by 2 with a minute and 18 seconds left and one timeout on the road in game 6, where it looks like all things are lost, can your star show up in the big moment? Can your star bring you back from a 9-point lead with 6 minutes left to go in the game, in a game 7 on the road against an all NBA defender? Does this Nick roster have star power? It's something to think about. It's something to think about. And there's one last element to a championship contender that I think a lot of people don't really take into account. But I will say this: every championship winner has had an unreasonable portion of luck. An unreasonable portion of luck. Can the Knicks get that? That is the one thing I think we'll probably be in a wait and see mode. Luck. See, because first round picks can't buy you luck. Your rich billionaire owner can't buy you luck. And even if a Celtic man on a cane holding a shamrock is your logo, that can't buy you luck. Luck is random. Luck is random. So if the Knicks can have a reasonable portion of anything on that list, not 100%, they don't need 100% of it. They need about 70% of all the things I mentioned. And if they get that, congratulations to your 2024 NBA champs, the New York Knicks. And when I say that, if that don't send chills down your spine when I say it, I'm going to say it again, and listen to me. As Adam Silver, congratulations to the 2024 NBA champ, New York Knicks. If that right there doesn't make you a believer, or if that right there doesn't get you to buy into what this team is doing, then I'm not for sure what can. But I tell you what, I believe the Knicks have about 70% of all those things that I mentioned. They have the star power, they have the hunger, they have a guy that can stitch together clutch moments. They have the depth. They have a reasonable portion of all those things. So now all we have to do is allow this process to play itself out. That's all I got, everybody. I didn't want to hold y'all for too long, right? I didn't want to hold y'all for too long. I just wanted to do like a really short joint because I understand that the live streams going forward are going to be super long. The live streams are going to be super long going forward because with the Knicks this hot and being in championship contention, I understand that we are going to want to talk about it, right? So I'm just going to just ask you for this really quick. Continue to support your New York Knicks. Continue to support your New York Knicks content creators, right? However you support them. Join the channel, hit the like button, subscribe, do whatever it takes to support, and we'll continue to try to make content that is educational and entertaining and compelling all at the same time. So again, thanks y'all. I'm sorry about the Doogie Howser looking outfit. I promised it looked better with a sweater on, but I will holler at y'all later. Peace, everybody.